and the Ain-e-Akbari of Abul Fazl Alami. Uh, the Ain-e-Akbari was the culmination of a large historical administrative project of classification undertaken by Abul Fazl at the order of Emperor Akbar. It was completed in 1598, the 42nd regnal year of the emperor, after having gone through five revisions. So the N was part of a larger project of history writing commissioned by Akbar. This history, known as the Akbarnama, comprised three books. The first two provided a historical narrative. We will look at these parts more closely in chapter 9. The Ain-e-Akbari, the third book, was organized as a compendium of imperial regulations and a gazetteer of the empire. The N gives detailed accounts of the organization of the court, administration, and army, the sources of revenue, and the physical layout of the provinces of Akbar's empire, and the literary, cultural, and religious traditions of the people. The An is made up of five books, daftars, of which the first three books describes the administration. The first book, called Manjil Abadi, concerns the imperial household and its maintenance. The second book, Sipaha Abadi, covers the military and civil administration and the establishment of servants. This book includes notices and short biographical sketches of imperial officials, mansabdars, learned men, poets, and artists. The third book, Mulk Awadi, is the one which deals with the fiscal side of the empire and provides rich quantitative information on revenue rates, followed by the account of the 12 provinces and the fiscal divisions, sarkars, parganas, and mahals, total measured area, and assessed revenue. After setting out details at the Suba level, the N goes on to give a detailed picture of the sarkars below the Suba. And this it does in the form of tables which have 8 columns giving the following information: the Parganat Mahal, Kila, forts, Arazi, and Zamine Paimuda, measured area, Nakdi, revenue assessed in cash, and Suyurghal, grants of revenue in charity, Jamindars columns, Jamindars, and columns 7 and 8 contain details of the caste of these Zamindars and their troops, including their horsemen Savar, foot soldiers Pyada, and elephants Phil. The Mulkawadi gives a fascinating, detailed, and highly complex view of agrarian society in northern India. The fourth and fifth books, Daftars, deal with the religious, literary, and cultural traditions of the people of India and also contain a collection of Akbar's auspicious sayings. So why I'm reading all these portions, because they can ask a mains, they can form a mains questions like write a note on Aine Akbari. It can be a 10 marker, 5 or 15 or 12 and a half, and they even ask questions on these increasing order, like which is the bigger units, and from moving from smaller to bigger units containing Suba, Sarkar, Parganas, terms like these. So these kinds of questions we can done and we can solve from reading the NCRTs or these portions carefully. And moistening the rose garden of fortune, an extract from Abul Fajl, and translating the N. Henry Blockman edited it, and the Asiatic Society of Bengal, Calcutta, present day Kolkata, published it in its Bibliotheca Indica series. The book has also been translated into English in 3 volumes. Okay, and that the manuscript was revised 5 times by the author would suggest that a high degree of caution on the part of Abul Fazl and a search for authenticity. Historians who have carefully studied the end point out that it is not without its problems. Numerous errors in totaling have been detected, and these are ascribed to simple slips of arithmetic or of transcription by Abul Fazl's assistants. And another limitation of the N is the somewhat skewed nature of quantitative data. So this is the end of this chapter. So these limitations notwithstanding, the N remains an extraordinary document of its time by providing fascinating glimpses into the structure and organization of the Mughal Empire and by giving us quantitative information about its products and people. The N completely departed from this tradition as it recorded information about the empire and the people of India, and thus constitutes a benchmark for studying India at the turn of the 17th century. Lastly, timeline landmarks in the history of the Mughal Empire. 1526, Babur defeats Ibrahim Lodi, the Delhi Sultan, at Panipat, becomes the first Mughal emperor. 1530 to 40, first phase of Humayun's reign. 1540 to 55, Humayun defeated by Sher Shah in exile at the Safavid Court, 1555 to 56, Humayun regains lost territories. 1556 to 1605, reign of Akbar. 1605 to 27, reign of Jahangir. 1628 to 58, reign of Shah Jahan. And 1658 to 1707, reign of Aurangzeb. 1739, Nadir Shah invades India and sacks Delhi. 1761, Ahmad Shah Abdali defeats the Marathas in the Third Battle of Panipat. 1765, the Diwani of Bengal transferred to the East India Company. 1857, last Mughal ruler Bahadur Shah II deposed by the British and exiled to Rangoon, present-day Yangon, Myanmar. So this is the end of this theme.